Okay, I got the camera set up so it's got a view of the bench here. Let's take these the clamp and the rubber bands off and see what's up. Try my best to keep this in frame for you. Okay. It definitely feels tight. Yeah, feels pretty solid. Feels solid up at the neck. Cool. Probably shouldn't whack it too hard. After all, it is designed to be taken apart again, both the fingerboard and the two tubes, so this can be disassembled with gentle prying and tapping. But yeah, it looks pretty good. Spacing left to right there's okay. Spacing left to right there doesn't look bad. That's what that end looks like. That's what that end looks like. So, next step, yeah, so this will get some machine nuts in there, and then machine screws will come in through the bottom. And on this end, you need to take that wood dowel, cut it in half to make two inserts to slip in there that we can then put the nut screws into. So I guess that's next. Unfortunately, the camera is sitting right on my little corner of the desk where I cut wood, so I'm going to move the camera. Okay, I got sick of the little block of wood taped to the back of the phone falling off that I was using as a stand, so I broke bad with some of the sheet metal material here and made this little aluminum stand. That works kind of like that. And then you can, like, you know, get close-ups or put it up on something and get a close-up of something like that. And you know, see me working on something. If I was, you know, working on something. So this little stand might be handy, and then of course I can also put it up here on the desk and show the whole bench. That kind of an idea. So, see how that works? Where are we at? Okay, gotta cut a thing. Right, so I had to move the camera, so it was like, well, as long as I'm moving it, let's move the camera a little bit and see if we can improve the situation. So, that might be an improved situation there. Now let me go find that little piece of wood and get the saw. Yeah, so, that's the idea there. Got the coping saw. And there's a piece of wood, and got it behind the block. Time to cut it. So I just eyeballed it in order to get a cut start. And now I'll go ahead and cut through it. And there it is. I think I'll run over it a little bit with some 60 grit or some 100 grit, something like that. Just get all the little burrs and such off. Okay, sanded them down with a bit of 150 here. Just put a little bevel on each end. Made sure everything's all nice and smooth. The sides are pretty smooth. They should slide right into the tubes here, so yeah. Looks good, looks good. Let's see, the screws are going to go on. We'll put all the beef at this end where the screws are going to go in. So we'll go in like that. I want to hit them up with a little bit of CA glue just to hold them in place, because then they get drilled and the screws go in, and then the nut is actually going to push this way, and these are more or less here to keep the nut from pulling up. And so yeah, and that'll hold, and everything should just stay in place. So yeah, it doesn't really need a lot of glue to hold it in here, because of the fact that it's going to have screws in the end, and they're going to be trying to pull this thing this way and up. So you don't need glue in order to keep it from going this way, because the nut's attached to the end, and that'll keep it from going this way. And you don't need glue to keep it from going up, because it's inside the tube and it can't go up. So all you really need the glue for is to kind of hold the stuff in place while you're drilling and inserting the screws. So everything looks good, and that's going to be the next step, is glue those little plugs in. Might need a little bit more glue than that. How about putting some on this way? That should be plenty. Okay, let that set. Check it out. We get a weight break. This is one of the aluminum necks and a fretboard of similar thickness to this guy here, and it's clocking in at 250 grams, which would be 8.8 ounces, and this other one is clocking in at, or half a pound, 8.8 ounces, a little over half a pound, and the other one is clocking in at 200 and right, so that's 250 and this is 240. So yeah, carbon fibers is actually 10 grams lighter than aluminum. That has the insert for the neck. This doesn't use an insert. This just uses 4 nuts, just the nut and bolt hardware. And this has got the insert for the nut. This just uses a string through it to nut. So more or less equivalent as far as like the amount of wood insert weight goes. So yeah, a little bit of savings and definitely better ergonomics. Thickness wise, let's see what we got here. Get all that junk out of the way. Q-tips for doing finish work on the guitars. good for like touching up stain spots and things like that. Yeah, thickness. What do we got? These two, that's pretty relatively level. What's thicker? Oh, this is definitely thinner than the aluminum. I'm not holding it straight, but you can see the aluminum neck would be right here. This distance here is going to be more than this distance here. So yeah, this is a thinner neck overall this way versus something like this. And it's wider, but not uncomfortably wide or anything. I mean, the actual fretboards are the same width pretty much. So yeah, looking good. And this stuff should be dry by now. So next step is to mark it and drill it. And we're up to 11 minutes, so I think we're going to call that a video. That's it for the fretboard glue up and the nut insert glue up. And the next step is the nut install. So until the next one, everybody, have a good one.